Hi, Mike DePung here, and I'm really glad you're with me. If you're listening to this, it's another one of the poems I'm using to celebrate National Poetry Month. I used to do this in school, but I didn't do it every single day. And I have missed, I will confess, I have missed like 4 days now. I've been having some difficulties, physical difficulties, and it's better, and it's something I might even do a couple of videos to make up for the few days that I missed because I think it's important. Why do I think poetry is important? Whether I write it or you write it or we read what others have written, um, it's because it expresses uh, more closely the reasons we came here to this world. And I've spoken many times about healing, and I'm going to speak more about it today. But we come here to live heart in heart energy, to process, filter, enjoy, create, innovate with heart energy, as opposed to ego that just says, isolate safety, be careful of interactions, be careful of, or if you're interacting, you got to be better, or you got to make yourself worse, or you got to do something that is not being authentically you and me. And that's what healing is about. It's about remembering who we are, why we came, what we are. And so we have that opportunity. Poetry helps me, at least, to dig closer, to dig more deeply, I should say, more deeply into why I'm here and who I am and who you are, and to be able to process life, to filter life um, through words sometimes. And there are many other ways. And in fact, I'm going to I'm going to read my poem that is about that exact thing, about being who we are. And this is from my volume of poetry that's published and that's available to purchase if you go to Barnes and Nobles or Draft to Digital or Amazon, or just let me know, which I would prefer over Amazon, quite honestly. But it's Poems, Dragons, and Friends that I wrote with Marion Brickner, who illustrated it. So here is the poem that kind of addresses this about being self, being authentic. It's called Wavelengths of Life. Sorry, I don't have it memorized. I have to read it. I think I should have been an artist. I believe, as did Picasso, that we are all born that way, not only artists, but also musicians, dancers, in tune with the soul of the world. The trick is holding on to it. I let go too quickly, and now my palette holds words, not paints. My eyes play over that abandoned palette, a flashing red, seductive orange, glowing yellow, breathing green, deep-throated blue, throbbing indigo, flowing violet, colors of nature, of life, of purity. How do I paint with black words on white paper? My creative imagination must labor hard. She rejects negativity and sloth. She rushes to positivity and effort. Hues of life, the pulsating vibrations of nature, combine to yield the purity of unified light. Black words on white paper may yield rainbows and fuse to white insight for those seeking light. And that's the poem. Now, a few quick comments about the poem. By the way, you probably can't see it too much. Oh, I love what Marion Brickner did in illustrating this poem. The words coming out that capture the emotions and the actions. And on this side, they're there painting with the words on boards, like I wrote, painting with black letters on white paper, black words on white paper. So, what's the deal with this? I would like for you to just come up with it and let me know, but I know that that's not going to happen. So for those of you who actually listen to this, I'm going to share this with you. Um, I believe we are all born with limitless possibilities um, that are in, let me put it this way, limitless possibilities that are in resonance, in concert, in harmony with who we are and how we wear that, how we present that spirit incarnate that we are. At root, base, essence, we are all spirit. We are all love. But we clothe that love different in different ways. And some of the ways we do it is through creativity. What can you do? What is it that you feel is in resonance with yourself? If you want to heal, you've got to quit fulfilling roles that society and others place on you. And I have to do the same thing because I face it. I face it every week at least. I go through this questioning about things, and I need to remember what is in resonance. I need to remember this. What is in resonance with my heart, with my highest heart self? And for me, it comes down to uh, doing this, communicating, writing, creating poetry or articles, sharing who I am at Chorus and sharing who I am as love. This is my offering of love to the universe, to the world, to the spirits, to the ancestors, and to my fellow expressions of spirit incarnate, my fellow human beings. This is my expression of love. What is yours? Because when we engage then in those things that create resonance, that are in resonance with our own heart, then we are on a healing journey. And it's beautiful. And you discover what is there. You don't wait for somebody else to tell you this is what you should do. You should be an artist. You should be a dancer. You should be a musician. I mentioned those things just to show, to give a few examples of what things could be powerful for you to do in terms of expressing love and giving yourself happiness, creating happiness for yourself, creating joy and love for yourself. These things are important. They're so important today. And as I do every day, and there are going to be poems I will share this month that uh, deal with the collective and with political, governmental type things. But I always do it coming from a standpoint of love. How do I want people to, what do I want people to consider? And how do I want them to feel? You may get many different meanings and many different feelings, emotions from the poetry that I share. But what's most important is that you take what resonates with yourself. And that's what I'm doing here today. I just felt like I needed to share this because with all that's going on in the world, and some of it is really, uh, really harsh, hard reality, the best thing I can do personally to start before expanding out to sharing is to do what I delight to do that which brings me happiness and shares that happiness with others. We are just limitless beings when we resonate, when we are in resonance with our own hearts. It doesn't mean that some people are born and that some things just will never be available to them. Me, I could say I mentioned being a dancer. I could never be a dancer. I love to dance in little ways, but to be a dancer, a real dancer, no, I'm limited because my body is just not built the way it needs to be built to be a dancer. Um, but the things that I do have the ability to do, when I do those things that resonate with my heart, that are like, yes, this is you, this is it, then that can go anywhere. Could I win a Nobel Prize in literature? Well, the reality, most people would listen to me and say, no, that would not be possible. But if I wanted to seek it, I would seek it if it gave me joy and happiness. If I wanted to forge ahead and share things that are inspirational, that might hold some kernel of a healing thought to others, then that's it for me. So, wavelengths of life. By the way, when we look around, and if you want to write poetry, if you want to consider, reflect on your life, look around at the things that are all about you and understand, look at yourself in the mirror and understand that the physicality, the physical part is not the reality. The reality is what drives, what motivates, what makes up this. And we know, I mean, if you've never looked into any articles, read any articles about the science of bioacoustics, that there are communications from plants. And we know there are from animals. We can see it in our own pets many times. But there are communications, there are energies. These are wavelengths. But to make something physical, we convert wavelengths to particle, to flesh and blood, to physicality. Find that which is a wavelength for you that you are vibrating on and grab hold of it, and it will help with your healing and make it real. Make it express it, no matter if it's in your job that you love or in doing something on the side that you love, what you do on the weekends, what is your hobby, what are those things that really float your boat, then grab onto it and do it. So until next time, I'm going to leave you with this in love and peace.